Hello if you're new, welcome back if you're not. It is time for Ted to talk boxing. So Luke Campbell took an L, and that means I did as well. It wasn't the prediction with the most confidence. This was a tough fight to call. It very much depended on how good is Ryan Garcia. And he has showed himself that he is a guy who, if there is a bit of trouble, if there is a bit of adversity, he doesn't panic. He dusts himself off and he goes forward. Those are the qualities we want to see from a guy who has got so much light shone on him at the moment. Oddly enough, even though he seemed to go down quite heavy in the second from a nice little dummy right by Luke Campbell to the body, and then he went up to the head with the left, I don't think he was that hurt. Because look at his body language after. Some people were saying, why didn't Luke Campbell go for the finish? He could sense that Ryan Garcia still had a lot of strength to him. He planted himself right in front of Campbell from then on and was even walking him down. He knew that he was safer, trying to push him back, trying to get him to throw, and then countering off what was coming his way, which he eventually did in the fifth with his tremendous left hook counter. He didn't need any more of a confidence boost after that and hurting him. He really just finished things off nicely in the seventh with a lead body shot. That's unusual. You don't normally see that. But it's precisely for that reason that it's effective. Garcia said himself that he changed it at the last second. He didn't go to the head, but the hands were already up, and then boom. As good as a body shot you'll see. And Campbell, I think he tried to get up, but it wasn't happening. Campbell's shot, as I said, it dumped him heavy. But I don't think Garcia, funnily enough, respected his power. He was like, okay, if we play, you take a shot at me, I'll take a shot at you, and I've got the speed advantage. I'm going to win. He got chastised in the corner by Eddie Reynoso. He knew he'd made a defensive blunder. He was saying, keep your right hand up, and he was like, yeah. He knew what he'd done. He still fights a little bit too upright. Perhaps they're going to correct that going forward. He is very upright. That is not helpful. So perhaps turn a little bit, dip down, show different levels, use your lead shoulder as a bit of a defensive bump. He's going to have to try and incorporate all these things. But everything considered, he did very well. Now, Luke Campbell, he's probably never going to win a world title now, is he? It's kind of sad. His dad passed around the time he was fighting Jorge Linares. He would love to get a shot again and make it happen. But it was always going to be difficult. Look at the division he's in. He was going to have to beat Garcia and then fight one of the other top guys. It was always going to be difficult, this. You look at other guys like, no disrespect, but Scotland's Ricky Burns. He's already a 3-weight world champion. And then there's Luke Campbell. And he's never even managed to just get one little vacant belt anywhere. There's many lesser fighters who are going to go down in the record books as world champions. Luke Campbell has been put in a tough position here. On the other side of the coin, you look at Luke Campbell and he never really bloomed into a well-rounded pro. You look at him and you think there's still a lot of the amateur fighter that remains there. He's good at creating distance, he picks his shots well, but he's a bit stiff at times. He's never developed much of an inside or mid-range game. There's not much of a punch selection to him. It's just the jab, left to the body, left to the head. It's always been a bit basic with him. And though he's done well and shown grit, he's the kind of guy who looks like he's fairly easy to rough up as well, though. Really, he should have been trying to pump the jab more often and make it a punishing jab that makes Ryan Garcia not want to make inroads on you, because Garcia was happy to just keep casually walking forward, not really jabbing much himself. If Campbell were able to raise his game to the level I thought he may have, he should have been punishing Garcia trying to walk forward like that. Jab right in your face. No, you're not coming forward like that. But he wasn't able to. He was a bit hesitant himself throwing shots, worried about being countered. And some of that is the speed difference, and you can't do anything about that. So Luke Campbell could possibly go up to 140 pounds, but it's not easy there either. I reckon maybe just one fight in Hull, his hometown, a send-off, and then fair play. Ryan Garcia, I've heard them talk about maybe wanting to fight Tank Davis now. I think they just need to apply the brake a little bit. He may be better than the likes of Devin Haney. I think Teofimo Lopez is better than everybody, but just slow things down here. There are definite defensive flaws we need to work on. As I was talking about, get him to just hunch over a little bit more. He's too upright, tuck the chin, use the shoulder. They need to work on all these things. And hanging around Canelo Alvarez, that is the perfect person to be training with to try and improve your defense. So I do hope we get those big fights in the lightweight division, but a lot of these guys are young. I'm actually happy for once to let things just settle a bit before we go right into the big fights. But for Ryan Garcia, that was pretty impressive.